Hello and welcome to the Louisiana Things Kitchen. It's game day in Louisiana Things Kitchen, and we down here in Louisiana are still celebrating our Super Bowl champion New Orleans Saints. They'll play today, and I want to have a bunch of game day snacks ready for when everybody comes over to watch the game. Today I'm going to cook some delicious meatballs to serve up with some sauce. I've got some buffalo wings to serve in another great sauce. I'm boiling some eggs over here to make an old favorite deviled eggs with a little twist to them. I'm going to whip all this up together and have this all ready to serve to my friends when they come over for game day. Let's get started. For my meatballs, I'm going to make a little sauce here to put in the meatballs and then to also top the meatballs with. So in here I've got some brown sugar. That's about 3 tablespoons packed brown sugar. And I'm going to add some dry mustard. This is a teaspoon of dry mustard I'm adding to that. And then some ketchup. This is a 1/4 cup of ketchup. This is going to make a little sauce that's going to serve as our some of the flavor in our meatballs. Going to cook on the meatballs, and then we'll even set a little bit aside perhaps for a dipping sauce as well. So just mix that up real thoroughly, make sure all that brown sugar melts in there, and that's going to be a sauce. Let me just set that aside here, and I'm making my meatballs with pork, so I've got some pork in here at the bottom of this bowl. I'm going to put in here some really finely chopped up onion and celery. Not a whole lot, just a little bit finely chopped. We don't want any great big chunks of that in our meatballs. This is some breadcrumbs. Start mixing that all together. And I've got an egg here. That'll kind of hold everything all together. Now we're going to take a little bit of our sauce and we're just going to add it to this mixture. Those flavors will be all throughout there. Now I'm going to start making these into some meatballs, and I'll shape them all up, and then I'll show you the way I'm going to cook them. I've shaped up my meatballs, and I've put them into a muffin pan. So each one, I sprayed that muffin pan with a little bit of cooking spray, so each one has its own little compartment there. I'm going to take a little dab of my sauce and put it on top of each one of these. I've got my oven preheating to 375. And we're going to cook them in there for about 30 minutes. All right, I'll pop these in and we'll get started on our next appetizer. Okay, my meatballs are in the oven. Let's hit our buffalo wings here. All right, in here I've got some cranberries, just regular candied cranberry sauce, and this is a jar of chili sauce. We're going to put the whole thing in there, and we're going to combine that sort of hot and peppery spicy with that sweet of that cranberry. I'm going to cook this over just a low flame right there. And make sure it gets all combined real well. Melt that cranberry in here real well. So we just want to get that warm. Okay. In the meantime, I've got my wings over here, my drumettes, in this bowl here. And I just want to hit them with a little salt. I just want to get some seasoning on the meat themselves. So we're going to turn them around a little bit in here. Make sure I get salt all over them real good. And that's it. I want to get this heated, get all that melted and combined real well. And then I'm going to just put it on here and just soak them and slather them up real good. And we're going to put them on just a regular baking sheet, and we're going to put those in the oven as well. We'll get to that in our third appetizer in just a second. I've got my jellied cranberry sauce in here, along with a whole container of chili sauce. I've heated it up and it's come together real good. It's all mixed. And now I've let it cool down a little bit so I can handle it. I am just going to put this all over these wings. And just with my hands, I'm going to get in here and make sure that this is just covering these guys real good. Now I've got a pan over here. I'm going to spread these guys out. I'm going to get my oven up to about 375. I'm going to cook them for about 15 minutes. And then I'm going to turn them over. I've reserved a little bit more of that sauce to put some more on them after I turn them over. And then when I turn them over, probably cook them for about another 20 minutes or so. We want to make sure the chicken is really cooked thoroughly. All right, let me get that going. We got one more thing, another game day snack food to whip up for you, and then we'll be ready for the game. I got buffalo wings in the oven. I got meatballs in the oven. And the last thing that I want to whip up here for my friends when they come over to watch the Saints beat up on the Falcons this afternoon is some deviled eggs. That's an old classic standby. I got my eggs boiled, I cut them in half, and of course I removed the egg yolk. And here it is in this bowl. I've got a third of a cup here. You can use mayonnaise or salad dressing. This is salad dressing. Get that in there. Nice, make it nice and creamy. And start stirring that in there good. Alright, these are going to be cheesy deviled eggs. So I've got some shredded cheddar cheese here. I'm going to throw a little of that in there. I've got some shredded mozzarella cheese here. Throw a little of that in there. Let's get that kind of mixed up and mashed up in there. Cheesy deviled eggs. You got to salt your eggs. And a little black pepper won't hurt anything. Might make them taste good. Now these are some Cajun deviled eggs. So I want to put just a little bit of red pepper in here. That's not paprika, guys. That's red pepper. That's going to give us a zing when we eat these suckers later. And you keep adjusting your cheese, get it like you want. Alright, get this mixed up real good, and I'm going to show you how to shoot it into these eggs to make a delicious deviled egg game day food for your friends. I took my egg mixture that I mixed in all that cheese in there. So this is those deviled eggs that are cheesy and they're also spicy because we got a little red pepper in here as well. I put it into just a regular quart freezer bag and mashed it all down in there. And I've just clipped the corner off of it. And so I've made a little device here to shoot my mixture into my egg whites. And that's it. We're going to have some delicious, cheesy, and spicy deviled eggs My meatballs are out of the oven. I'm still working on my chicken in the oven. And we'll have it all ready to go on a game day platter in just a few minutes. After about 15 minutes, I've taken this chicken out. I've flipped them all over. And now I just want to hit them again on the other side with some more of that sauce that I set aside, remember. And this is still not all that sauce because this makes a good dipping sauce later too. So I've got some more of that set aside over there for when we finish these suckers off. So again, let's hit this side with them. Let's put them back in there for at least a good 20 minutes more. We want to make sure our chicken's completely cooked. And all these flavors going in there. Hitting them again with that. Oh yeah. Game day food. About to put it all together for you in just a minute. We are ready for the game. Here we've got our meatballs that are just wonderful pork meatballs with that good sauce that we put in there, and there's sauces on top. They're a little sweet and a little savory. We've got our chicken wings, our drumettes over here with that delicious sauce that we've been cooking. They're tasty. We've got some deviled eggs here. That's those cheesy, spicy deviled eggs. A little kick to them. I'm serving it all up on a Cajun Gumbo Board's tailgate board. Now, if I was out at the game tailgating, like I was yesterday at the LSU game, I could take my meat right off the pit and put it in the middle of this board here. But since I'm at home and going to be eating and serving in my house, I went ahead and put it on a plate. But you've got a great place over here to put your drink. You can take that with you, put that on your lap, and watch the game. Cajun Gumbo Boards, the tailgate board. Get you one of those for your game day at www.CajunGumboBoards.com. Hey, I appreciate you joining me here on game day at the Louisiana Things Kitchen. Go Saints, and bon appetit, or as an old Poos would say, forget about the bon chat. Get you some of this game day food.